Ever since the US, Israel, and Iran war began, the movement across the global energy corridor has been deeply affected. But is it only energy that we should be worried about? Or can our internet services also go for a toss? Hello students, welcome to Drishti IAS. My name is Saloni Nandkyolye, and today we'll find out the answer to this question. So we know that due to the ongoing US, Israel, and Iran war, the Strait of Hormuz, the movement across the Strait of Hormuz has been deeply affected. And this is our global energy corridor. So we are already facing an energy crisis, right? But that is not all. Energy is not the only thing that we have to be worried about at the moment. If we combine the Strait of Hormuz and the Red Sea, then this region together forms the digital backbone of the world. How? So when we talk about internet services, majority of our internet services, they come from the subsea fibre-optic cables. The subsea fibre-optic cables, the optic cables that are lying on the seabed, a lot of our internet services come from these subsea fibre-optic cables. In fact, some 90 to 95% of our internet services come from this plus the land cables. And when we talk about the Strait of Hormuz and the Red Sea region, they together constitute the digital backbone of the world, because a lot of data of the world flows through the optical fiber cables that are lying on the seabed over here. So this area right now is under a chaos. And because of this, the internet services are also at risk. Not because they are being directly targeted over here. No, they are not being directly targeted, but because there is a war, there is a chaos, and this damage to these optical fibers is actually a collateral damage. We'll understand how that is going to happen. But for now, we need to know that any chaos in this region, basically, we know Strait of Hormuz is under threat over here, and Red Sea also is under threat. There could be disruptions in the Red Sea because of the Houthi rebels also. So when the disruption is there in both these areas, if there's a war in both these areas, then our internet services are also going to be affected. So we'll understand how that will happen. But before we do that, let me tell you that we have this new course for you, which is the Studio GS Foundation live online course. Now, this is a foundation course, which means that your complete UPSC syllabus is going to be covered. Both your pre and mains syllabus is going to be covered in only 14 months at a very affordable price of only rupees 34,999. Complete UPSC preparation in 34,999 rupees only. And if you wish to avail a further discount on this fee, then you have to use a coupon code, which is SALONI, Saloni, all in capital letters, and you will be able to get the maximum discount for yourself. So don't wait, admissions are already open. You have 3 mediums to choose from: English, Hindi, and English. Now, for any more information, please call us at 87501, and you can also download the Drishti Learning app. Now let's get back to our topic and understand why is this blockade being called historic or historically unprecedented. It is because I told you that it's not just the Strait of Hormuz that is at risk at the moment, but it is also the Red Sea, because of the Houthi rebels. So, and these two together, they combine a lot of data flow, global data flows through this region. In fact, if we talk about India particularly, so a lot of our westward data towards the Middle East, towards Europe, a lot of our westward data actually relies on these channels itself. So any disruption that is going to happen, if both these areas are affected simultaneously, majority of the times what happens? If one area is affected, then we can always rely on an alternative. But if both these areas are affected simultaneously, which is kind of the case right now, then we are going to face a huge disruption in our data services. There could be latency, there could be a lag, there could be a lot of disruption that can happen. So that's why it is being called unprecedented, because both our routes right now are at risk. And then we'll have to look for other alternatives, but our most effective routes at the moment, both our most effective routes at the moment are at risk. Now, if we talk about the economic fallout, then we need to understand, I told you that this is actually a collateral damage, because what's happening is that these countries, they're not particularly targeting these fiber optic cables, they're not particularly targeting this disruption. But when we know that generally when there is no chaos, these ships, they move freely in the sea and they drop their anchors. They drop their anchors on the seabed, but they drop it very carefully. But in times of war or in times of a chaos, they do not drop these anchors carefully. They have to find a safe spot for themselves, so they randomly keep dropping these anchors at any place wherever they find space, and this is going to damage the fiber optic cables which are actually lying on the seabed, because they are not being dropped. The anchors are not being dropped in a proper careful manner. They are being dropped hastily. They are being dropped in a random manner. That's why this is actually a collateral damage. And if we talk about some major service providers over here, or some major players in the industry, like we have Google, we have Meta, we have Amazon Web Services, they have already invested billions of dollars in the Gulf region to create these global data centers. And any disruption that is going to happen on the sea floor is going to severely hamper the entire data flow. So a lot of money that has already been invested is also at risk, and for India also a lot of our westward traffic at the moment is at risk. So we'll have to keep looking at alternatives, and that is the most that we can do at the moment, that we start looking for alternatives. But for the time being, this is actually a huge collateral damage threat that can happen in this region. So it's not just energy that we have to be worried about, but it is actually a digital era that we are living in. Most of our things rely on internet services, so we also have to worry about this digital threat at the moment. So that was all for this discussion. I hope you were able to understand everything that we discussed over here. Now we will look at a practice question for prelims. With reference to global internet infrastructure, consider the following statements. 1. A majority of international internet data is transmitted through undersea fiber optic cables. 2. The Strait of Hormuz and the Red Sea are important routes for global data flow. 3. Damage to undersea cables can significantly disrupt internet connectivity even without direct military targeting. Choose the correct statements. A. 1 and 2 only, B. 1 and 3 only, C. 2 and 3 only, or D. 1, 2 and 3. Please attempt this question and provide your answers in the comment section. Thank you for watching.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.